And so as I was driving back and forth to the hospital yesterday a couple different times, it hit me. I was like, let's talk about suffering. And that seems like a really, like, hey, what's a good selling point for your Catholic faith? Suffering. It's a great reason to join. I wanted to just share a little. I think one of the greatest gifts for me in my Catholic faith is kind of our understanding and our approach and our theology of suffering, and how it's been a lot of has given me a lot of comfort and a lot of help. I think there's a lot of confusion out there about suffering, and kind of, if we're looking at what things kind of distinguish Catholicism, like a lot of faiths believe in Jesus. A lot of faiths believe in God. A lot of faiths believe that they celebrate Easter, and a lot of faiths celebrate Christmas. And so what then, if we're thinking about what makes Catholicism different, I think one of those things is the Church's teaching on suffering. And when you look around the world and kind of what other people say about suffering, you find very different things besides what the Church teaches. You have some people who will talk about, even Christians, will talk about how suffering is punishment for whatever. It's just God being mad. And they'll point to the Old Testament, and they'll talk about where in the Old Testament it talks about things like, God got angry at these people and sent them all smallpox, or something like that. And so people will look at that and they'll say, well, that's how God is. God, and that's their worldview, that God punishes people with suffering. And if you're experiencing suffering, you get punished. You even see that on some of those the big mega churches. You turn on the TV Sunday morning, and somebody with really white teeth is preaching and they're talking about, if you commit to God, God's going to bless you, and He's going to love you, and you're going to get all kinds of money. And if you don't, though, then you're going to get cancer. And that's their worldview. Like, God blesses you if you love God and you do the right things and you pray hard enough, then you're going to get blessed. And if you don't, then you're going to get punished. So come over here and be like us. And so we have all these different views.